Now I'm going to make a little reading about Indiana Jones, the movie. Here I go. Here we go. Before Sean Connery accepted the role of Henry Jones Sr. in Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade 1981, Spielberg faces numerous rejection as many actors hesitate to play the father of a character as iconic as Indiana Jones. The idea of casting James Bond himself as Indiana Jones' father seems like a stroke of genius in Highlands, but it wasn't an easy journey to get there. Steven Spielberg and George Lucas wanted to explore Indiana Jones' origins and add a layer of emotional depth to the third installment of the series. To achieve this, they believe They believed the relationship between Indiana and his father as key was key. The choice of actor to play Henry Jones Sr. would make or break the film. Initially, Spielberg and Lucas considered several veteran actors for the role, but most declined, fearing that being cast as the father of such a strong and beloved character might diminish their own stature. After all, Indiana Jones had already become a culture icon, and actors worried that their performance would be overshadowed. Some even featured being typecast as again figures in Hollywood, a reputation difficult to escape once solidified. Spielberg, however, was determined to find an actor who could hold his own against Harrison Ford. He needed someone with charisma, gravitas, and a sense of humor to make the father-son relationship believable and entertaining. It was George Lucas who suggested Sean Connery. Initially, Spielberg hesitates. Cool Connery, whose, whose suave and commanding presence as James Bond had defined him, convincing play the quirky academic Henry Jones sir, but the more the idea took root, the more it seems perfect. Connery wasn't an easy sell. By the time the filmmaker approached him, he had distanced himself from big bulk action films, focusing instead on smaller, character driven projects. The idea of playing an electric booking professor didn't immediately appear to him, especially as he hasn't seen himself in such a role before. Spielberg had to personally convince Connery, emphasizing the film's humor, emotional depth, and the chance to redefine his current persona. What finally squared Connery was the script. It was really touching and gave him plenty of moment to shine. Connery loved the idea that Harry Jones Sr. was just as much a hero as Indiana, albeit in a very different way. While Indiana relied on physical strength and quick thinking, his father's tools were intellectual and unwavering moral compass. Connery also saw the opportunity to inject his own personality into the role. He brought ideas to the table, such as Henry's obsession with umbrellas and his use of a daily as both a tool and a symbol of his life work. This small detail added richness to the character, making Henry Jones Sr. one of the most memorable figures in the franchise. Once on set, Connery and Ford chemistry was electric, although the script already highlighted their strained yet loving relationship. The actor took it to another level with the natural banter. Connery improvisation during film became an iconic moment in the film. One such instance was the famous line, "She talks in her sleep," which Connery delivered with impeccable timing, adding humor to a tense sense. Spielberg later admitted that much of that work in their dynamic came from Connery's input as he instructively understood how to play off for rugged action oriented persona. One of the production's biggest challenge was balancing the adventure tone of the film with the more intimate emotional moments between the Joneses. Spielberg wanted the audience to feel the weight of the relationship, which had been marked by years of misunderstanding and emotional distances. A pivotal scene where Indiana confronts his father about the lack of connection was particularly difficult to get right. Connery and Ford worked closely with Spielberg to ensure it feel authentic and their performance in the moment remaining highlight of the film. Filming wasn't without difficulties. Connery, who was in his late 50s at the time, had to endure grueling shots in extreme locations from the desert of Spain to the easy water of the River Tay in Scotland. Despite this, he he maintained his sense of humor on set, often lightening the mood with jokes and anecdotes. Spielberg later remarked that Connery's professionalism and enthusiasm were infectious, making the demanding shoot more easy for everyone involved. One of Connery's biggest contributions to the character was his insistence that Henry Jones uh, Senior was shouldn't just be a sidekick to Indiana. He wanted the character to have his own arc, one of that parallels his own journey. This approach elevated the film during it into a story about reconciliation and mutual respect, rather than just another treasure hunt. Connery performance added layers to the narrative as Henry's vulnerability and encouraged completely Indiana's physical prowess. The impact. ¿Qué pasó?